The approach is nondescript, but in Managua, any sense of normal is illusion. Dictator Daniel Ortega and his wife and Vice President Rosario Murillo ubiquitous, wielding power without limit. The regime arbitrarily detaining whoever it chooses.
Lo primero que uno piensa es cuando me toca a mí. Me puede tocar a mí, puede ser el próximo.
Journalists cannot get into Nicaragua officially, so I'm here in Managua as a tourist. It's been more than a year since a journalist was able to come in and film. Anyone who assists me will be in extreme peril, and any critic of the regime, well, we'll have to meet in secrecy, because the dictatorship does not want any voices of dissent to be heard. In Managua, we find a young priest of extraordinary courage. His identity must be completely disguised. We will call him Father Jacinto. What would happen to you if you were reported to the government? If they knew you were speaking to the media?
Si saben que un sacerdote o cualquier persona está dando una entrevista a un medio extranjero y donde se está denunciando las atrocidades del gobierno, inmediatamente esa persona es apresada sin que medie ninguna orden judicial. Simplemente llegan a la casa y lo sacan de ahí y lo meten preso.
Ortega in power since 2007, now aged 77, robust enough to enjoy dancing. In February, his regime sent 222 imprisoned dissidents into exile, including presidential candidates, jailed to prevent them from running for election. The last surviving institution providing resistance to Ortega, the Catholic Church. Just outside Managua is Tipitapa, location of La Modelo prison, where the regime shows that when it comes to repression, it means business. We manage 3 minutes mingling in the crowd before prison guards stop us. For relatives of some non-political prisoners, this would be a good day, gathering in anticipation. For these Nicaraguan families, it's a day of celebration because their loved ones have got out. These are regular prisoners getting out of Modelo prison. The person who's not getting out is Nicaragua's most famous political prisoner. That's Bishop Rolando Alvarez, incarcerated for 26 years. A young girl cries out in warning. The prison guards are confiscating people's phones, checking for newly recorded video. Do we have to go? Bishop Alvarez, seen here before his arrest, convicted of treason, stripped of his citizenship. He had denounced the regime for its human rights abuses. The regime brutally suppressed anti-government protests in 2018. More than 300 people killed, the dead overwhelmingly civilians. The Catholic Church provided refuge to protesters. It's been the regime's target ever since. This Nicaraguan Catholic in Managua we'll call Maria. She pores over the book that guides her life. She says she is nervous, but is resolved to speak out. So why do you feel it's important to talk to me?
Yo me siento impotente. Hay mucha incertidumbre en el país y miedo, pero quizá esta sea la manera de que alguien haga algo por Nicaragua.
The regime banning and expelling religious orders, from the Jesuits to the nuns of Mother Teresa. Ortega's wife is the government spokesperson.
Cristo vive en nuestra Nicaragua bendita y siempre libre. Aquí está Cristo Jesús. Aquí reina Cristo Jesús porque aquí reina el amor y porque aquí hay paz.
8 priests are currently detained. I press Father Jacinto on the level of danger of us meeting. You're not exaggerating?
Me reportaría inmediatamente y seguramente me arrestarían de inmediato, en cuestión de horas.
Rosario Murillo did not respond to our request for an interview on the issues of human rights and the church. But Father Jacinto, undeterred, will have much more to say. Matagalpa Cathedral was the home church of Bishop Alvarez. His 26-year sentence handed down the day after he refused to join 222 dissidents and go into exile. No one dares speak publicly. The police station is right opposite. The same force that took the bishop makes its presence felt at any location deemed strategic.
Just passing some police here have said good morning. This is an important street, an important place in Nicaragua. It's where the bishop lived before he was taken into custody. They're just behind me, and the bishop's home is here, right here. For 2 weeks before they took him into custody, they surrounded the home, and when they did swoop in last August, it was deeply shocking to Nicaraguan society. It sent the message loud and clear that any critic of the Ortega regime, no matter how revered or respected, would now be a target. The bishop was convicted of treason. And Nicaraguan society knew, got the lesson, got the message, that anyone could be next.
Pero es que no tiene delito. Tienen que inventar algo para poder detenerlo de esta manera. Es la nueva acusación que se está esgrimiendo en contra de las personas que consideran enemigos del régimen.
September 8, another priest, Father Osman Amador, detained, seized from inside a church. But the Ortega Murillo regime says it's Christian, doesn't it?
El Señor Jesús nos advirtió sobre eso. Alguien puede autodeterminarse cristiano, pero sus acciones desdicen completamente eso. Yo creo que el gobierno tiene miedo a la iglesia porque ha sido una voz crítica que le ha plantado cara y que no ha mostrado miedo a sus amenazas.
In Managua, Ortega's wife's Trees of Life installation failing to impress international observers. In March, a United Nations team concluding the regime's abuses constitute crimes against humanity. September, the UN experts finding escalating persecution.
Of course, we can't show your face. You must be protected. But I can see that there are tears in your eyes. So how do you stay strong?
Con la oración. Aún con el miedo, yo tengo esperanza. Tengo hijos y familia por quien luchar. Quizás no necesariamente más armas, pero sí mi voz.
Amid the icons, candles and ritual, there is neither freedom nor security.
Porque estamos siendo vigilados en todo momento, en lo que decimos y lo que predicamos y la manera como lo decimos. Hay gente que nos vigila constantemente y nuestras redes sociales, nuestras transmisiones son vigiladas.
Maria's sacred book is known worldwide, yet her country's plight is barely spoken of. I ask Maria if she feels courageous.
Sí, pero sí tengo miedo. Porque en este país no es suficiente eso. Te inventan cualquier cosa.
At the Matagalpa Cathedral, Catholics raised their voices inside. Religious street processions, part of Nicaraguan tradition, banned by the regime nationwide. Local journalist Victor Tikai sentenced to 8 years prison in June for posting images of one such forbidden procession. The charges, cybercrime and treason. The priest blesses the congregation at a healing service. Holy water in abundance, as is state surveillance, both in and outside. In Nicaragua, Prulawan, SBS World News.